Hello, everyone. Today we do some GM tank coaching. I think it's gonna be mainly Diva, but I will see. We'll take a look. I think first of all, just gotta open some documents here, and then yeah, I think we're gonna focus on Diva mainly, but we'll take a look. Hey, let's jump in voice, I think, and can start now. Hello,
Hello,
how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. First, I lost 4 games,
Okay,
and then I won 3 games.
and then you won 3 games.
Yep.
Okay. So what have you been working on so far?
Uh, we've been looking at my diva.
Yeah, yes, so we've been looking at your Diva lately, yeah. So what are the specifics we've been working on so far?
Um, when to engage and not on when to gain resources.
Okay, so I'm just looking at dog. Specifically, we talked about how we want to disable enemy win condition, enable your win condition a little bit more. So did you try to apply that as well, or yeah,
Yeah,
how that went? Mm-hmm.
I think it went well.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Is
yeah,
there
my diva been improving.
is there something you think you struggle with then?
Mm. Uh, except rage queuing.
Okay.
I'm not sure. That's, I think, why I need help.
When you try to apply those concepts, so let's say trying to enable your win condition, maybe disable the enemy win condition, is there something what was hard? Maybe sometimes you was not sure when to kind of let's you was maybe not sure about what your win condition is, so maybe you was not sure what your priorities are exactly. Maybe something like that happened as well, or
Not really. It's, I would say, um,
role was pretty clear, like every time. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
I
that's
would say so.
reasonable. Mm-hmm.
Could we do a live session? I
Sure.
mean, I play a game, and you can see if you can find something I can improve on.
Yeah, sure. I'm just looking at what kind of areas we can start with. Then I think, probably gonna work around the team compositions, kind of win conditions a little bit more. But if there's something else we can spot, I think you can take a look at that too. Yeah, well, we can do the live if you want to. If you want to start with that right away, or maybe you have any specific questions. Maybe it's something you want me to cover. Maybe even this like I mentioned Rage Q. Maybe something is kind of connected to that. We can talk about that, like the mindset thing. If there's something you think you struggle with. Mm-hmm.
Um, hmm.
Yeah, up to
I
you really.
guess it's been. I've been struggling to look. I just need to look back at my team more and see where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Sometimes I go in before my support sets up. I realized.
Okay, so kind of just the timing of your pressure, yeah.
Yeah.
Timing of the pressure. Okay, is there anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Okay. That's all right. Well, do you want to start with just normal live game then, or do you have any
Yeah.
replays which you want me to show first, and then we can do the live?
Not really. I was unlucky the first 2 games, I would say. Then I
Mm-hmm.
started uh playing bad just because I was mentally boomed. So I would just say we go for a game here.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Sure, that sounds good to me. Let's just then focus on specifically the previous items. We kind of mentioned disabling enemy win condition, enable your win condition, so I think that can be a good starter point. Or actually might be a good idea to just scout the information on where your team is and then kind of look to go in as well, I think. Yeah, maybe let's do that as our main focus while you playing. I'm looking at your stream. Oh, you got a game already, so fast.
Yeah, I get fast games. Let's see. Melody, I recognize. Person, I recognize. Who's this guy? I like to look at the enemy tank to see
Yeah,
what he plays.
reasonable. Yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah, I know
The
some players
voice
here
chat,
as well.
the voice chat is broken right now.
What is okay, what's your thought process? Why do we pick the Rein now?
Because there's not so much high ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually go D.Va when there's high ground, but here
Yeah.
we just rush at them.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. Let's do that. You have more of a short range win condition, so playing for the fast fights is preferable. Take the TP. See how you can use your abilities to help you as well, like the pin specifically is really important. Let's see.
Oh, I just gotta leave.
Play close to the corner, supply pressure from there.
Go for Yankee Queen. Right, voice chat broken.
Nice, good job. After you
Please,
cap,
wow.
after you cap, you can play close in the doorways because it helps your win condition a little bit more. Like playing in close short range spaces more for your team comp is good. Oh yeah, unfortunately your team died. That's good. Going for the trade is okay. Yeah, that's alright.
Yeah, they died like flies.
The main thing which I notice, you want to, whatever you do with the pressure, especially with the 5 strikes, you want to start near the corner and then look for the pressure after, because you're exposing too much damage. So minimize the pressure the enemy team can do on you while playing corners more.
Yeah, she should be dead. There
This
we
is
go.
good. Okay, now let's think where we're gonna play. So you play for your win condition.
We'll stay up here, right? Go.
I might do actually because you have the trace. I think actually the doorway here can work too as well. I think it's just look where your Anna is and Tracer is and position based on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So see, like, if your Anne is playing far back, might make sense to play around the high ground. If she's kind of playing closer with you, then you can play even in this doorway here. Because this space is preferable for you. Like, in close spaces with the Rein card, if you play Rein, is good. Okay. I would honestly still look to play there, but it just...
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
You just want to kind of start close to the corner on the left, usually. That's alright. Okay. And so see, like, this choke here, because it's a short range space, pretty much holding it, but leaning towards the left corner is preferable.
Like this?
No, inside the building, like, potentially.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, I mean, why not doing that, because you can just avoid some damage, or you can play corners close to point as well, but here it's more open.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so basically, I think retake should be easy. I think just lean towards those synchros short range spaces more, so you don't take as much damage, and then you also play around your advantages. Like if they push you when they don't have angles, then this is preferable. Like try to think how to use short range spaces here. Look for the shadow, of course.
Okay.
Oh, well, this is good.
Ooh.
Just repeat. Just start to repeat. Remember, your rotation can also be looking like even going all the way right side, if I'm not mistaken, because it's possible for you to close the gap just easier.
Okay. Fuck. Nah, that's just unlucky.
You can touch. You still can touch.
Touch, please. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay, so I think the understanding just in terms of the matchup, you need to understand two questions, yeah? It's the range and how do you set up. So in terms of range, you short range comp. In terms of setup, the enemy team, if they take angles on you, then they do more damage. But that reason, because you don't want them to take angles, playing in chokes in doorways is really good if you keep them there. That's why holding in the spawn, like not the spawn door, but that door and with HP pack might be good, yeah, in your case. Or let's say just holding on the maybe even the point like on this map somewhere near the top right, like in the buildings might be also good. Just think about the corners which you're holding.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
We could watch the replay as well after.
yeah, well. So see this doorway, this is where you can kind of think of holding in general, keeping the enemy team so they cannot take angles as much. Right. This is good, yeah. Your team composition is really strong in one direction, so as soon as you keep it kind of one directional, it should be good. The only thing you have to do is to play the Mei wall here. They run kind of similar variation of the team composition as you do.
I'm not sure what you mean by one directional.
I can explain later, but this is just
Okay.
this is more of a how do you take angles, like what your team is better at. I can explain later, I guess. It's okay. Just keep in mind the short range spaces, keep in mind the chokes, that's where you want to kind of keep an enemy more.
He needs to die.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice, good job. Usually stunning out on top can work if you want to be like a little bit more fancy, I think.
This is crazy.
This is okay. Are you guys just holding them spawn, I guess? Oh, you
Time to go back.
You have the wall. There's no time to go back. You can still fight. Yeah.
Yes.
This is fine. This is fine. You just gotta kite the wall. That's alright. That's good. Okay. Yeah, I think they kind of give up there, so should be in your favor.
Yeah.
Alright.
This ends now.
Ooh. Well. Almost.
Yeah.
Usually, if you see the Mei kind of going in the direction if she's in front of you, because she's gonna ult right in front, usually can maybe pin back instead of pinning like through the area where she was, if that makes sense. You can just maybe
Yeah,
go
I
left or
understand what
back,
you
but
mean.
this is okay.
I just wanna kill him.
Alright. Just, we can reset and then it should be good. Usually taking high ground is right against the Mei, so she can wall you as much. You're just seeing like what the possibility is, so you can bait the wall. Okay. They still
Okay, let's
do
go.
have a little bit more poke than you because of the surgeon, so it's looking for short
Yeah.
range fights right after the wall. It's fine. Yeah, this is good. Break the lamp first. Yeah. I can just pin him as well. Yeah. Nice. Good job.
Reality bends to my will.
Okay, so let me explain two things. So what I meant by like holding certain positions, so what one-dimensional is, so like one-directional, and then also how you can minimize the amount of damage you take. I think it's gonna be valuable. Just gonna
Yeah, I'll
screen
show
share.
you the code.
Yeah. You can just send it to me. Need to stop watching your stream. Give me a second. Okay, stop watching, and then let's move it somewhere here. Okay, I'm screen sharing. Just send me the code, and we can look at it.
I might show you some maps here after that I think I did. That I don't know what I did wrong.
Yeah, we
But
can do
some of
that if
them,
you want to.
but some of them I know.
Yeah, sure. We can do that. Yeah. Okay, got your code. I'm screen sharing as well. Can you see that?
I'm gonna join. There we go.
Nice. Okay. So, just two things. The first one is how do we minimize the amount of damage we take? Because you tanking, it's what I notice we sometimes do. It's not only as a diva, but no, sorry, not only as Reinhardt, but also as a diva. When you try to retake the point, we tend to be exposing ourselves to too much damage, which is not necessary because we want to be tanking the damage which our team can control. Yeah, let's say you distracting 5 people. If those 5 people they can be kind of controlled by your team, then it's okay maybe to get to get damaged by them. But usually it's not. I mean, most cases, if you're exposed to every possible damage, then it's not that good. Because let's say, like, I'm just gonna give you an example of this first fight, right? I think we started out with okay, so it started out somewhere here. Okay, we went for DP, and then you start in the fight like here, yeah. So you exposed to multiple people there, yeah. All these 5 people can shoot you. But what about if we just minimize the pressure and instead of being exposed to all this damage, we can only be exposed to Junker Queen. Why Junker Queen? Because the Junker Queen is only realistically the member who can be actively damaged, or maybe the surgeon just a little bit. Actually, the Lucio, yeah, he's more frontlining. But see what I mean? You don't want to be exposed to like this damage, for example. We don't want to be exposed to the Life Fever with. Is that Life Fever? Oh, it's a Genji. Sorry, we don't want to be exposed to the Genji, or we don't want to be exposed to this Baptiste. Yeah, because this damage it can be controlled by your teammates. If that makes sense. Yes, all this destruction which you create and all this damage which we take from these guys, it's not as necessary, right? So we want to kind
Right.
of find out the way to minimize, yeah, the pressure. You don't have to overthink it. You don't think it, oh, like what things they can shoot, what things they cannot. I think just starts with pretty simple solution of thinking, how do you take less pressure by using corners more? So that is where it's maybe if you're going for the 5 strikes, then how can I do that in a more effective way? So maybe instead of playing in the open here and starting my 5 strike animation like we did, where you're exposed to 5 people, we can maybe start lean towards the right side this way, yeah? So most of your hitbox is hidden, and then peek out a little bit and so the 5 strike, yeah? So it looks like a little bit cleaner, yeah? But here, we're exposed to every damage, so that's why you get bursted quickly, yeah, and that's why we kind of you will be forced out to play defensively, maybe put your shield up, maybe you will have to drop, yeah. So this just a little bit cleaner, yeah. I have to start my 5 stack animation behind the wall, I peek out, and then I hide again. Or you can also reposition and think about using the corners here, yeah, on the left, or we can also be using the spaces near the point later. It doesn't matter, it's just a little bit cleaner usage of the corner, minimize the pressure which we can take, because right now there is just a lot of damage that just shouldn't be happening this way. But the 5 strike is good, yeah. We gotta pick. Okay, so this is first thing, and to kind of just give you another context, when you're trying to retake with the diva, I think the same kind of thing happened here. So it's just
I swapped the diva in the end of the game.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find it's like here. Yeah, right. It's somewhere around here. Yeah, so basically I'm trying to fight these guys. It seems okay, but then see how we're gonna peek around this corner here, for example. Yeah, all this damage which we exposed to, right? You exposed to the Orisa, we exposed to the Lucio, we exposed to the Bab and Surgeon, right? So this damage, yeah, all these guys which are damaging you, yeah, can your team control these guys yet? Well, seems like kind of not, yeah. But maybe even we just think about, okay, like what are we shooting right now? Seems we're shooting the Orisa, okay. So let's say, yeah, let's think where we want to be more effective, so we won't get our armor shredded as much. Where you want to stay right now?
Behind that wall.
Which wall?
Put the box on.
This one or this
one? Yeah. That one.
What about this one? What's the difference? Yeah, I just wanna. Yeah, what's the difference?
The other one is further away from my team and closer to enemy team.
Okay, so it just depending on the context, yeah, where your team is, you can kind of think, do you go be more aggressive? Yeah, because you're short range character, you can still do this sort of stuff, but it should be relative to where your team is too, yeah, because they cannot capitalize on this wall yet here, yeah, at the front. That's why, yeah, maybe we can, by the way, you can play maybe this boxes as well, but see what I mean? You can maybe start playing slower, and then I even think you can pick out the right side this way, yeah? So we can be exposed to less damage, so we're not exposed to like this, or maybe this. This is not necessary. Yep. The only things which your team can control yet, this seems like all these guys in front, yeah? So exposing to them is relatively fine. Yeah, but always pay attention to how do you take those short range fights though. So this is gonna be probably moving from here to here later, and then once you move up, so notice like maybe you're gonna move up towards this guys here, and then your team can do damage from this main. What about even if we play near this wall? Yeah, what do we just create another angle of attack this way? But because you do that, suddenly you only exposed to all these 3 people only, and you're not exposed to like this or this. See what I mean? Using your mobility to kind of also get this extra angle if you want to, because you want to do more damage. Sure, why not? But yeah, the first part is the minimizing the pressure, minimizing the amount of angles you deal with, and then the second one, I think I can talk about it, kind of discussing from the team composition's perspective what you can do. So if you look at your comp and you look at the enemy, there are 2 questions you can be answering usually. You can answer, I think we kind of did it the same way as you. We talked about the range and we talked about the setup, right, in our first lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of the range, compare your comp to the enemy. What kind of range you want to play?
Hmm. Um.
Is it short or long? Just simplify. Like think about the variables which they have, which you have, and maybe you can kind of get an answer here.
I think close.
Mm.
We should play close.
Yeah, I think your tinker position relatively slightly stronger than theirs at close. Yeah, sometimes it might be even similar. Yeah, both of the positions might be stronger. The one that's kind of short distances. Let's say you play versus the brawl, like you did in the next map. You still relatively do more at the short range. But the second question, which we were answering, is how do you take angles? And I was mentioning your tinker position is more one-dimensional, one-directional. Why? Because you more rely on the damage which is kind of happening around you. Yeah, obviously your team is not gonna be stuck behind your shield. They still kind of can take angles, like especially Tracer, of course, she will be doing so, or like Cassidy. Yeah, Cassidy is more leaned towards playing with you, yeah, but he still can take slight off angle. But because all of you utilizing the Lucio speed boost, that means you kind of around the same area, so you lean towards the stacked playstyle. Yeah, if you see the in terms of how do you take angles, yeah, so this is like setup question. Yeah, you lean towards more stacked, and some of you take angles, but the enemy team, they actually rely on angles more because of the surgeon and actually a little bit Bap and the Genji, I think. Yeah, so that is something you can pay attention to. What kind of what kind of setup your team should be doing in certain cases. So because you lean towards stack play style, yeah, because your tinker position is one dimensional, like all your damage is gonna be coming kind of around where you are. Yeah, like even here you can see, okay, Lucius with you, then maybe Cassidy can be playing with you. Yeah, multiple times you've seen that in replay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But their surgeon can maybe take like really hard angle on you, and for that reason, because you know that they have more poke, then that means we want to play in spaces where you take less poke in general, and what that means is you want to play in spaces where they can take less angles on you. For that reason, playing in those doorways, like this choke here, is viable because suddenly the enemy team have really limited options on how they take angles. Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is like brawl versus poke matchup. Yeah, you want to limit those angles as much as possible, and for that reason, like playing around the point is might be not as good. Why? Because now they can just go here, they can go there. Yeah, see, there are more options for them to take angles. Yeah, limit their options to take angles by playing in doorways. This is always nice, and yeah, just make sure you go in when there is a short range fight. Yep, when you can kind of maybe look to speed boost in, see, okay, once the enemy is close, you can look for short range fights, look to go in. Yeah, that's all you have to utilize. Does it make sense? Kind of is one dimensional. Why do we play chokes versus poke and this sort of stuff? Or any questions?
Yeah. It makes sense.
Makes sense. Okay, then let's just maybe let's watch just the second one a little bit. So like here, I think it was, well, they kind of give up at the end. Maybe we can even watch the SATA replays if you want to, or we can do one more game just look to apply this what we mentioned so far. Yeah, I'm
I
thinking.
think we'll look at my other games.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Can you send me those?
Yep. See. Um. I'll choose the first one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Right. what about that replay which you sent me? Is that what was difficult in that one? Maybe that was still kind of the same things which you mentioned, or is there anything else?
Let's see here. I'm gonna try to remember. I just don't know what went wrong this game.
Okay. We also play Sigma here, right? Okay. And I'm just looking at what is our hero pool. So we're playing Reinhardt, Diva, and Sigma for long range maps, right? Is that how your hero pool looks like, or?
I play all tanks, but I mostly play Diva right now.
Yeah, I think with the tanks in general, or just whatever role you play in, if you can limit amount of heroes you play, it's always better for your improvement. It's always faster improvement because realistically in a game you don't need that many characters anyway. Usually
Yeah.
limiting it to 2-3 heroes is good. Just keep that in mind. Yeah, keep in mind what kind of characters you play. What is your
Okay.
hero pool, and based on situation, yeah, based on the map, based on team comp, pick those characters, because I kind of see in the forum you also mentioned Diva, Hog, Reinhardt, and hero plays Sigma. Yeah, so you can be just more direct with what you're practicing. And even when there's a I think the meta changes. Sometimes you can maybe pick another hero, depending on the meta. Maybe it's more dive meta, well Diva is good. Maybe it's more of a long range meta and also long range pool, well Sig might be good. Short range maps, Reinhardt's good. Yeah, this kind of stuff usually. And
Yeah.
yeah, just something to keep in mind. But yeah, let's see. We can
When you
watch.
mention it, I actually been doing that lately. When I
Mhm.
need Brawl, I play Rein.
Yeah.
For
hmm
both Sigma and Dive Diva.
Yeah,
That's
this
all you
is
need,
good.
right?
Yeah, this is good. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. So we just do some early poke here. That's fine. Okay. So I think we can talk a little bit more about the damage, just kind of what kind of damage we're taking. Yeah, because I was explaining with the corners. Yeah, if you lean towards certain corners, then because only certain enemies can damage you, then this is better. Yeah, from your team's perspective, they can kill the stuff which is kind of damaging you. Yeah, if you're just exposed into, like, let's say here, Reinhardt pushes you. If you, or like maybe Ba pushing you, if you shield that damage, potentially if you shield here, then that makes sense. So you just in general being exposed to that damage, then that makes sense. Yeah, you're distracting them, and your team can kind of kill those targets. But right, what about now? Let's say we're trying to shield or so we're being exposed to these guys. Yeah, our shield is being exposed to these guys now. What do you think? Is it good shield, or yeah, like is there something else we can do to make it better?
Yeah, we could play a bit further back and still be effective with
Uh-huh.
our projectiles.
Right. Okay. Okay. So in what kind of area you want these guys to be? Like this enemy team to be in order to even use your shield? Yeah, like where do you expect them to walk? Is it fine if they walk a little bit further and then we use our shield later? Like, what do you think?
Uh, that that could be fine, yeah.
Sorry,
Think.
can you repeat that again?
I think that will be fine.
Yeah, so that would be better to use it later, or just keep it the same way.
I think it's better to keep it a bit more when I look back on it now.
Yeah, so I think you're right. It's just if you look at it, like why we want to be thinking about that. So basically, let's say your space is here. Yeah, that is the space you're controlling right now. This is like the red one, and then the enemy team, they kind of go from yellow. Yeah, what you want to do is make sure they commit resources into your space where your team is, and then kind of shut down them with something defensive you have. If that makes sense. Yeah, we have maybe shields, we have your shift as a Sigma as well, and then that is something you can answer with. Yeah, because if you use shield here, treat it like Winston bubble. Think if you're Winston here, if you use bubble now, what these guys can do, they just break your bubble and then they kite. I mean, they kite when you use your bubble and break it, and then they push. Yeah, or like as a Zarya, use your bubble here. Again, it's not as a deal, right? Or as a diva, let's say use most of your matrix here. Again, it's not as a deal. But if they commit resources and push in, then that would be a really good shield, because your entire team, can actively shoot their BAB, they can actively shoot their Ana a little bit more. So that is the main thing. So what you want to be actively practicing is first shield placement. See, your shield placement is our shield placement. We expose to the space where your team cannot do much. Yeah. So this is like back in I'm not sure if you played Ov 1, but back in the double shield meta, that is something what been discussed a lot, like how the shields are exposed to each other. Yeah, if your shield is exposed like this early, then you can just literally play this corner and poke this shield here. Yeah, this little bit of a shield and then push. Yeah, but what you want to do, you want to make them commit to shoot your shield. Okay, so this is the placement. And then the timing of your shield. Yeah, kind of letting them in a little bit more so they kind of just in your space. Does it make sense here?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And it's the same thing with the Divas, Reinhardt as well. Your resources, yeah? You gonna be exposed either with your armor or with your shield only, like when your team can capitalize on it. Yeah, so that's a lot to do with playing corners, with thinking how do we... Yeah, what's our timings on abilities as well? I still kill them. Wait, what happened there? They TP somewhere on a... Where's the TP? Oh, they TP'd in a room? Why? Okay, that's weird. Well, I still did it. Oh well, that's fine. They make a mistake, you punish them. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I should not have been shooting at the teleporter there either.
Yeah, well, it's a small thing there. I think the biggest one is the resources and the right moment for the right space. Basically, it feels like...
Oh.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so
This is where it gets messy.
What do you think we should be looking for in this fight? So what was, maybe you remember, what was the thought process here? What did we drop on the card? What we...
I was thinking, we can spam him out. He got fall shield. I'm gonna drop so they don't move payload for free.
Right. Okay, so just dropping to... You're going to payload here, okay.
My team was just not pressuring the Rein enough for us to just poke him out, because we have a Tracer. Hanzo.
I just want you to look at this, like, what this guy's able to do now. See all the space which they can get?
They're getting a lot of space here because we're uncoordinated. We didn't rotate together. And I just left my team on the high ground there. It's a hard situation.
So see, with our target priority, right? Because you're on the Reinhardt, see what this guy's able to do now. Let's say you shoot this Cassidy, let's say you shoot this Baptiste here. This Reinhardt will not live here as much because of the indirect pressure which you get. So because of the damage reduction as well. Yeah, we shoot Reinhardt, there's armor, that's damage reduction, but if you shoot the Baptiste, he moves back and then Reinhardt dies faster. Like you shoot this
that's true.
and then maybe your team lives longer, which allows you to like also kill the Reinhardt. I think your priorities should be always thinking about how do we win the fight first. So that's a lot to do with resources and how do you drag them. Yeah, what is your priorities with resources? A lot of times shooting the follow-up, yeah, what does an actual damage, yeah, what's more important is the priority. Like Reinhardt's moving the card, sure, but what about if we win the fight first and then stop the card. Usually, with the poke tinker positions, that's also a priority. Kind of just poke and brawl out. Yeah, take angles. So this is like other way around. Yeah, from what we watched in your replay before. Not replay, but yeah, the live game. You had a brawl tinker position. Yeah, so you want to limit the possibility for the enemy team to take angles. But now you're playing the poke tinker position, so take angles on the enemy, surround them, shoot until you win the fight, until you force something important, kill someone, and then stop the objective. Yeah, and then stop the point. That's okay if you let them do something on the point first. That's always maybe if you also watching Overwatch League, yeah. Especially for control maps, usually the brawl teams, they're gonna win this fight on objective, but then at the end, if you play it right and you play the angles right, then you can just kill them eventually and get even more percentage. Yeah, of course it depends on a lot of factors, but yeah, that is something you should be prioritizing. Yeah, going after follow-up.
Yeah, it makes sense now when you talk about it. I should have stayed on high ground, like you
Yeah.
said, and poked
Yeah.
the back line.
Exactly. Let's say you want to shoot the Reinhardt, okay? Just from mechanical perspective. What about us if we want to shoot the Reinhardt, just shooting above the shield and damaging above his head, yeah? Because your shots are exploding above the head, then we can just get this Reinhardt out of the space later, yeah, once you got this squishes in the back. Or what about also bouncing the shots around the walls too, yeah? That is something what we can utilize definitely. Keeping the range on the Reinhardt is important.
I think what threw me off was the tracer. If we had another poke character, I will know more what to do. I would not automatically assume this is a poke comp.
Yeah, well, this is, a lot of times I don't think it's even just in terms of, doesn't matter what comp you're gonna play, you're always gonna be paying attention to follow up, but yeah, it's just the poking position, you lean towards taking angles more, surrounding the enemy brawl more, because they have Symmetra, they have Cassidy, yeah, they're just more of a shorter tinker position here. So that is something to keep in mind. If you keep in the fights where they can be one-dimensional, by the way, that's what they do, yeah? So they're utilizing the shield, now the Symmetra can be around the shield and just kind of rush you, then something's wrong. You ever wanna kind of, if you wanna push them, what about someone's here? What about someone's here? What about also someone's here as well? Yeah, but now you play by their rules, so we're not taking angles as much. That's only the thing you can pay attention to, I think, for the most part. Yeah, when you're talking about this matchups, yeah. With poke, I wanna take angles more, and for the follow-up, yeah, you wanna be shooting it whenever. So here just feels like, yeah, they moved up,
Ooh.
and then they're able to do a lot of stuff because they we were playing kind of not taking angles as much, so it's a little bit difficult. That's all
I
right.
think this sums up it for this map. We kind of just get snowballed from there.
Uh-huh.
So we could look into another code if you want to.
Yeah, if you want, sure, we can do that. If you think there's nothing else you wanna go over, then sure, yeah. So I'm just
It's
gonna
kind of
write
the
down.
same thing.
Yeah.
The old
Okay.
game.
Okay, then I'm just gonna write down. Okay, and then poke versus brawl. Yeah, poke versus brawl. Gonna using angles more. Okay. Yeah, we can look at something else briefly and then summarize, I think.
Yep. Okay, I'll send you the code. Okay, this is a game where I played very well on Diva, but I still would like to see if I have something I can improve on, even in these games.
I'm just thinking. Okay, and we still can keep the same theme going, probably. So it's resources for the right space. Yeah, which you which you pushing. It's also compositions. Okay. Okay, resources. Okay. Let's watch this.
So we do Sombra Zenyatta,
Okay.
Diva comp. So what we do is we discord and hack targets, and we do just those hurting. Oh wait. We do that. We do that later. We don't play Sombra yet.
Right. Okay. So there's a hack. We looking to push in. Right. This is good. Enough Tiana, maybe saving the rockets on that, so just slightly better while is slightly easier to kill, but that's okay. Yeah, it feels like just even from here, slightly polishing the corners is still gonna be something you can pay attention to. Like, let's say we here, I think this is alright. Yeah, but then when we white peak like this way, yeah, it might be not as good. Yeah, let's say we lean towards this wall or something. Maybe it's slightly better, or maybe we play close to the card. If you wanna shoot this Sojourn, just something to think about, just in general. Yeah, in the future games. Yeah, how do we able to minimize the pressure which we take in? Because if you can do that, if you only tanking the damage which is viable, then it's good. Because potentially, if you white peak more, well, who knows, maybe the fire can shoot us more, maybe it's Anna, and this damage is something what we don't have to be tanking yet. Just kind of, just saying, yep, for in general, watch out for that. Like here, this is alright, because it's only Sigma, which we're exposed to. Like here, for example, leaning towards this white corner a little bit more, just in case if something happens. Because you don't want to be exposed to like this and in the back, for example. This is slightly better, yeah? Just going towards this. And then later, maybe you can even think using the high ground as an our option to kind of minimize the potential sweats here too.
Oh, I remember why we were playing a bit uncoordinated in the beginning here. It's because voice chat is not working.
I mean, this is alright, like in comp, you don't need like the communication as much. We can look at the visuals. I'm just thinking from what we've seen here, it's just minimizing the pressure you can take is still viable. Later was okay, but we're following up on attack, and
What we did, we started pinging targets.
Oh, this is fine.
This is crazy. Check this out.
Yeah, they're gonna escape, yeah. Or
No.
oh wait, they don't.
Now I'm gonna kill everyone.
Wait, the spawn is it a oh it's not possible now for them to escape, right? Because it's just there've been a change with the spawn rooms. You can just press F and go in the next room now. But they didn't
Have they
do
removed that? I'm not even sure, cause every time I
That's
try,
weird.
they did add that, but it's been weird lately. I don't know. Maybe it's the cooldown because you have after 7 seconds you
maybe.
can't press F.
Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe you're right. Okay, so here we're just snowballing, that's fine. Now escaping. This is alright. Well, so this is kind of the start here. Well, where's your team setup? So you have the Sombra on the HP pack, you have the Cassidy here. Well, the Torb is slapped. Looking to shoot him there, then going. I think the killing the Torb is okay. If you can get somebody isolated, if you know can burst them quickly, that's alright. just later want to be careful with this because your team cannot capitalize on it. Obviously, your team is dead, so if you realize it, then just look for the traders, alright. Just keep that in mind. Like here, this Mac, it shouldn't happen because the team is dead. Yeah, they cannot capitalize on the pressure, right? So that's why.
All right.
That's why. Yeah, it's not as good. We have to be aware of the where the pressure is at. Yeah, all of our resources. Remember, your team should be capitalizing on that and potentially turning around the fight with that. Yeah, we need to be more disciplined. It doesn't matter the ultimate. It can be the shield. It can be the matrix. Yeah, it's just here. It's a mistake, obviously.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so now, what about now? Can your team capitalize on this pressure?
Yep.
Okay, so who can do that now? Or
Depends
like
on what
how?
you
Or
mean. They in my sideline so they can farm alt, but
okay.
then I already has alt. Huh. I maybe not. Maybe I should wait a bit.
Yeah, I think so too. So your team's just about to break through the corner. Yeah. So you have how many people? You have Zenyatta, you have Anna. Well, they're kinda able to do something, but ideally we want most of our team being able to capitalize on our pressure. So this is again, the damage is not necessary. We shouldn't be taking damage right now. We should be taking damage, you know, when? Kind of maybe. Actually, maybe around here. That's when you can be starting taking damage. When the Cassidy is there, the Anis can capitalize on the pressure. You go in and do something. Yeah, and this is viable. Yeah, if we take damage before, well, possible when fighting certain people, but it's most of your team usually in most of the fights they need to be there. You have to capitalize on the pressure. We need to be tanking exactly at the times when your team can do something. Yeah, let's say now they can punish Torf with you. This is fine pressure. Yeah, if they're not able to capitalize on you pressuring the enemy, then this is not as good. Yeah, like here, for example, they potentially can get the Sigma, they potentially can maybe force out something. Even though they die, that's alright. It just feels a little bit of a timing for the resources. Problem with that, I mean, that doesn't make sense, or maybe some questions about that.
No, it makes sense.
Okay. Oh, that happens.
Yeah.
It's okay, I can just do some poke. Alright. There's something what we can discuss later as well, actually, specifically for Diva, since we've been talking about like your resources and when to pressure. Yeah, timing of your pressure. There there's a concept which is called soft dive and hard dive. We can talk a little bit more about that, just because soft dive, because let's put it this way, because you have the mobility, you can do multiple things as Diva. So self dive, hard dive, knowing that when you do that, it can be viable, like so your team can capitalize on the pressure which you do. I think this seam can be helpful, and also maybe, yeah, still continue with the team comms later. Yeah, I think so far just the timing of the pressure, like this is fine. The pressure on Diana is good. Just be careful with how you use the corners. So let's say you go on Diana here, then maybe you can even think where you book her towards, and then after that you can see, okay, like what damage we supposed to do. If that's the Farah, well, keep that in mind. So now if you're damaging Diana leaning towards this corner later, so your team can kind of help you, is more preferable. I think you kill Diana here, which is okay. I don't.
Yeah.
Let me see. That is okay overall.
My ultimate is ready.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Okay, I think we can just look to summarize, and then maybe if you have any final questions, we can go over those. Okay, if we would summarize, what do we want to pay attention to so far? What do we want to work on with you? What we just
Playing
discussed.
corners even when you don't play Rein.
Yeah, okay. So what does it mean? What do you do with the corners exactly? How do you use corners?
Uh, to avoid damage.
How?
By looking at where the sightlines are.
Yeah, exactly. So it's based on the sidelines, based on the angles. Yeah, we want to minimize the amount of angles we deal with, and if we want to be more advanced with that, you want to be only exposing to the damage which your team can control. Technically, well, usually. Sometimes, of course, there gonna be a thing such as you get a solo kill. Yeah, you know, like especially with D.Va, you're really good at punishing isolated targets by yourself. But a lot of times you want to make sure we tanking things when your team can capitalize on that pressure. Okay, so to minimize the amount of angles we deal with. And then your team. And make sure your team can control space with you. Okay, what else?
What more? You'll have to remind me, I think.
What about resource management? So we've been talking a little bit about your shield and armor, yeah? Is it still relative to the how do you play corners? But remember, you want to make sure your resources are being used in certain area, yeah? Then
Yeah,
remember
you
your
don't
shield.
want to use them before fight, right?
Yeah, at least like not most of your resources. Yeah, so for example, with your Sigma, yeah, remember the shield management mistake where we're exposed to the space where your team can do much. Yeah, so
Yeah.
or there can be also the same thing about your diva when you expose to too many things with your armor, for example. Yeah. So how do we phrase it then? What do we, what that would be? Like what is the thing we're gonna practice then? Yeah, I'm just try to phrase it and then I'm gonna write it down, I guess.
Okay. How to use y- your resources more wisely, I guess.
Too general. So this is that you
Hmm.
want to be specific, yeah? Like we mentioned, what kind of areas you want to use the resources? What is better? Like we use the resources before the fight too much, yeah. We've been exposing to the damage which is not necessary. So how to put it then? But a little bit better.
Uh, I don't know how to phrase it.
So for example, with your shield management, what do you need to do to be better at it with not let me
You
see.
think about
Yeah.
how you place it so it doesn't take too much
Mm-hmm.
damage and
Okay.
unnecessary damage.
Okay. So it's placement. Yeah. Placement of your shield is gonna be important. Just gonna.
And timing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, what about the timing? How do you want to time it?
Um, you wanna use it when you're low, when your team is getting too much pressure they can't handle.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of one layer. Another is also when your team can actually pressure things. Yeah, that is the best time to do something. I mean, this is kind of an other way around. They either get pressured or they can pressure. Yeah, because the enemy team is around the corner. Like let's say in the Shambhala example, if you use the shield too early, your team can't do much. Yeah, but as soon as the enemy team enters your space and you use your shield, then that is good. Yeah, that's why with timings, timing of your resources should be making sure your team can capitalize on the pressure. Yeah, can just can't pressure the enemy. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And placement, it's more just being exposed to the space where your shield should be only for the space where again your team can be active with their resources, be active with their damage in general. Yeah, so it shouldn't be exposed to any other areas potentially. Okay, is it in the area where a team can look to control? Okay, and what about the team compositions?
You have to think about if you are playing poke or if you're playing brawl or dive.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're playing brawl or dive, you play closer. While if you play poke, you play further back from the enemy, further away.
Yeah, kind of. So what do we want to do as a spoke when you play Brawl?
You want to play close to the poke.
Yeah, so you can use the chokes, you can use short range spaces, and this way you take less poke. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And for the poke versus brawl, you just wanna take angles, surround an enemy more, basically, yeah? So this is
Yeah.
just more of an angle stock there. Okay. Uh what else? Yeah, I think later we can discuss soft dive, hard dive a little bit more. Maybe we can also talk about the team compositions, just discussing map control a little bit more if you want to. So we can talk about the angles. I think maybe we can also talk about the resources as well. We didn't talk about it that much, so should be good to focus on that too. What else? Yeah, I think that's it. We can start one of these teams if you want to. If you have time next week, we can even schedule something for the next one. But if you want to take more time to practice, that's also totally fine.
Yeah, let's do the same thing next week.
Sure. Then I'll just wait for you to schedule something. I think the Tuesday I'm not gonna be available though. Just letting you know. But the Thursday is still open. The Thursday is still open, or maybe the week after is also open if you wanna do something like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. Then I will see you later. If you're gonna have any
Yeah.
questions, you can also message me always.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Then bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, Mia Mob, thank you for your follow. Silent Ashley, thank you for your follow as well. Frontmar73, thank you for your follow too. And hi, Regulars, hi everyone. I need to go right now because I'm busy. So I will see everyone later. Hopefully I can talk more with everyone later once I have time. Yeah. Maybe it's Thursday, maybe it's next Tuesday. Oh yeah, next Tuesday I'm not there. We'll see. We'll see when I have time. But yeah, bye bye everyone. I'm gonna go.